any trouble, mate?
Elves, they talk a lot, think very little. In the end, they end up playing.
Ué,
Here to see the witch? You shouldn't have bothered. Only her servants inside.
Do you know where Philippa went?
Probably treating the dragon slayer. But our new allies won't let anyone in. Have a nice day, Witcher.
é isso, né?
We haven't had a leader like him in ages.
Me?
É sobre isso, mano.
It's an elf. A dwarf's a dwarf, and no bandit will ever make a good soldier.
Vamos pra cá. Cadê o... Aqui.
Nothing good in store for us.
Vamos lá, né, mano? Vamos ver se a gente acha essa desgraça aqui, dessa perpétua. Vou desoir do gato aqui, mano. Tomar um Yakut. É isso. É isso. Vamos lá, meus anões. Vamos. Tem 3 passagens bloqueadas aqui, né, mano? Vamos na primeira aqui. Vamos ver se a gente acha aquela maldita chave, mano. Não tem nada. Aqui é a primeira, né? Eu preciso da bomba com o Mé pra explodir. Não vai adiantar de merda nenhuma. Então a gente tem esse outro lado aqui também. Do outro lado aqui vai estar fechado, né, mano? Que eu acho que tinha uma... Opa, não passei aqui, não passei aqui, não passei aqui. Será? Será? Passei sim. Passei. Oxi. Tava trancado. Então aqui a gente tem essa merda desse lugar que tá trancado. Já acende as torchas. Ai, que maluco louco, velho. Maluco doente, mano. Vambora, galera. Vambora, vambora, meu irmão. O bagulho é doido. Negócio aqui, ó. Acende, velho. É. Acendeu, acendeu. Tá jânico. Ai, cara. Nada aqui. Nada. O jogo tá uma merda. Pra cá, mano. Ah, acho que pra cá eu não vim não, hein. Deixa eu ver. Não, ou vim, né? Tá tudo... Ah, mas por que destrancou a porta agora e não destrancou antes, mano? Tá errado isso aqui, hein, velho. Não fiz nada diferente. Oxi. Minério de ferro. Mano, minério de ferro dá grana, hein, velho.
Together for a good libation.
Tecido. Minérium de ferro, mano. Vou ficar rico vendendo ferro, mano. Queima, demônio. Queima, demônio. Ó, tem umas paradas aqui, hein? Ih, acabou minha poção. Passou o efeito das dorgas.
I wouldn't mind a drink about now.
Parada aqui, ó. Aí.
They're here.
Nossa, mano. Tô enxergando nada, velho. Ai. Chave, peguei uma chave, mano, é. Agora sim, velho. Deve ser a chave lá do...
Got to blow up this mess.
Tem que explodir o ninho desses desgraças, só que eu não tenho as bombas, mano, pra isso. Isso que é embaçado, velho. Tem nem diagrama vem dando pra fazer essas merdas dessas bombas, mano.
We should get together for a good libation.
Chegamos em algum lugar aqui, hein? Nossa, que gritaria, velho. Tô no surdo. Tem um negócio aqui. Acende. Cadê a porta?
You wet your leg recently.
Tá vivo ainda, ô capeta? Exorcizo. Volta pro inferno. Nossa, não tem que andar no escuro mesmo, mano. Chave deixe inferior. Ai, que horrível andar no escuro assim. É realmente a coisa mais horrível. Já sou cego, tá ligado? Ficar andando no escuro, mano. Forçar a vista pra cacete, mano. Ah, calma aí, que a gente voltou, mano. Pera aí. A gente voltou. Então tem um outro lado pra cá. Pra ser explorado, é isso, né? Mano, não dá. Faz a poção do gato aí, que pelo amor de Deus. Faz o gatinho que pisca aí, mano. Não dá, velho. Agora sim, agora vamos rushar a exploração aqui, hein, mano. Agora tem que dar uma rushada em 5 minutos aqui, mano. Pegar aquele outro lado agora. Minériozão de ferro. Bom, pra cá... Ali deve ter item, calma aí que ele deve ter um item da hora. Tem local de magia aqui, hein? Ah, chegamos. Boa. Nossa, é logo um troll, velho. Parece ser um troll, né? Que isso, mano? Eu tô envenenado. Mano, só bate nele aí, mano. Vai, bate nele aí, meus amigos. Nossa, era um demonião, velho, olha. Olha a cara dele. Troféu de Bulvore. Nossa, eu vou muito usar esse troféu aqui, mano.
I wouldn't mind a drink about now.
Mas eu vou usar agora, que esse troféu aqui deve ser cabuloso. Armadura mais 8, mano. Oxi, coloca aí. Beleza, mano. Então a gente já conseguiu as perpétuas. As perpétuas não, né? A perpétua. gente já pegou o estandarte.
Right, Geralt. Looks like it's...
É isso.
Thanks for your help, Zoltan.
Say nothing of it.
Enough yapping. Time for some vodka.
First, I want to see if my fuck date's still waiting.
Don't strain yourself. It takes energy to drink with us too, you know.
É isso.
Witcher,
What is it?
you were looking for the sorceress Philippa. I found her. She's now back home.
Thanks.
Cadê a Filipa, mano? É pra cá, né? Portão dos metalúrgicos, velho. Que isso? Deve ser o que o nome sugere, né, mano? Dormiu? Esse barulho aqui tá meio... Ah, tá. Tava meio suspeito esse barulho aqui.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
Eu não estou aqui pra falar de Cynthia.
Like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True, the phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
Eu encontrei as notas de um estudioso dos caçadores. Ah, isso é verdade, sem querer.
Hunt is a vast accumulation of the power. Something that would interest mages, you'd think.
To the mere mortal, anything that is not immediately comprehensible is suspect, the product of a conspiracy. And where there's a conspiracy, well, it's obvious mages must have hatched it.
I'm a mortal, though probably not a mere one. I found the notes of a man who spent his entire life...
Paranormal phenomena interests Cynthia, my intern. Take this up with her.
Quem é o Leto?
Heard about a witcher's school. Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No, why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
Sileri Tansarville está ao lado de Henselt.
Is conniving with Henselt.
I know this, Witcher, but it's no cause for concern. Schiller is there to ensure Henselt doesn't fall prey to the same people who killed Foltest. We don't want him as sovereign of the Pontar Valley, but we also don't need Kedwin to descend into civil war.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Horn. Apparently he witnessed it.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Edirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis's arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Edirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Edirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't
Stannis, eu só lembro do Stannis de Game of Thrones, hein, mano.
by a thread.
Ele careca maldito.
Here, sorceress of Tretogor.
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable. But even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
Oh.
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
Megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
I've got Triss's bandana.
Have you learned anything?
Triss was here. Letho forced her to teleport.
Why would he? There are easier ways to travel.
2 of Letho's comrades, probably those responsible for Demavend's death, were hiding among the Scoia'tael. When it became evident in Flotsam that the Kingslayer wanted to dispose of Yorvith, the Scoia'tael leader gave the order to eliminate them. Letho had to reach the unit before the Elven messengers did. He could only do that by teleporting.
I assumed that Triss wanted to teleport to me, but she missed the mark and they ended up in the gullies. What happened next?
Letho left her in a gully, wounded. He probably thought that she'd diversify the local trolls' diet. He himself went to see the elves and massacred the unit with his comrades. They're somewhere on the other side of the fog.
What about Triss?
She escaped from the troll. Everything suggests she's somewhere in the area.
I can assure you she is not in Vergen.
She has to be here. Locate her.
I'll try, but it will take some time. Have you learned anything else?
Silé ordenou que matassem Leto e Triss.
Sheila ordered Letho and
Vou
Triss.
falar, mano. Sou linguarudo.
Believe that.
Believe it. I ran into some mercenaries she enlisted to kill Letho and anyone found with him.
She must have meant the other Kingslayers. Are you sure she knew Triss was with him?
Are you so sure of Sheila? There was something going on between her and Triss. I sensed a lot of tension.
A misunderstanding.
Maybe. Let's find Triss and clear everything up.
I need some time. What's going on out there?
Let's see.
What's going on?
The peasants want to take pitchforks to King Demavend's son.
Why?
The Dragonslayer's servant is spreading rumors that Stennis poisoned Saskia. The commoners are in an uproar. They want to dispense justice.
Justiça seja feita.
Barricaded himself in his room, guarded by nobles. For the moment, the peasants are still respectful, but they are feverish. A fight is inevitable. Help us out. The situation is dire. I'm going to inform the other nobles.
Era só uma questão de tempo.
Dogs growl at cats. Cats hiss at the dogs. A noble's a wolf to a peasant.
Forget those animalistic similes and take care of it.
Que isso?
Locate Triss. And should anything happen to Prince Stennis, remember, we need his blood.
I remember.
Evite que os camponeses linchem o príncipe. Ah, mano, não é uma coisa que eu queria muito fazer assim não, tá ligado? Mas fazer o que, né? Vamos lá. Onde que é, mano? Atrás. Não, tem que ir pra minha esquerda. A minha esquerda é pra cá, né? É isso mesmo.
Stupid. She just fell unconscious.
Cadê a pancadaria?
Commoners claim it's our princess.
Ixi, olha o tanto de gente aqui, ó. Ô, louco. Ô, louco.
Geralt. It's good to see you.
Eu tinha que estar aqui, né, ô Palermo?
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter.
Nobody to keep things peaceful?
Scalen Burden and his dwarves are trying to contain the mob, but they're badly outnumbered.
The plebs will yell a lot, beat someone up, and go home. As peasants do.
That would be foolish. They're not serfs anymore. The days of them humbly sowing and reaping are gone.
Looks like things are getting nasty.
Hear me!
What do you want?
I'm Scalen Burden. I keep order in Vergen.
You're doing a nice job then. Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Stop.
Squirrels, everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons. I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Anões and algum poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Colton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
Where's this servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why is the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off! We need to act quickly.
Tá, qual que é seu plano, Jorvete? Fala pra nós aí.
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long. Question the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats. Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Good. Bloody bastard poisoned the virgin.
What do you want?
We of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity. If not for us, the world...
I don't have time to listen to songs praising the nobility. Know anything about the attempt on Saskia's life?
O cara tá de shortinho, mano.
Whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you. That's what makes us different.
I didn't say I don't care about truth. Just keep in mind there's a world order that mustn't be destroyed.
An order that allows injustice.
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder, he should face a tribunal. The rabble doesn't understand the principles ruling the world.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plough your fields. Farewell.
Nossa, trouxa.
What would the prince gain with the virgin's death?
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witches be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
You better search for a lad who served the virgin instead of pissing around.
Pushback. Daquele jeito, né, mano?
Throwing their weight about too much they are.
Daquele jeito. Você conhece esse servo? O príncipe tinha acesso à adega?
Right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones. You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
Mano, a roupa desses caras, parça.
What to do?
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong,
Falou sim, mano, falou sim.
what we then do with a man poisoning others?
Kill him.
Manda de novo, ele falou sim.
There is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Eden.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage, but he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal, our way.
And the non-humans?
We have enough dung on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Away with them!
Vá com Deus.
Give us this horsepower!
Rolling dung, you surly
As I see it,
dog!
every priest.
Cadê o
Someone's taking care
camponês safado?
the Witcher side with.
He's on very good terms.
O camponês safado tá aqui, ó.
Smell.
Tem cara de pilantra mesmo, hein?
Looking for you.
I don't know you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No, nothing.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing, don't know nothing, and didn't see nothing.
Parça, é o seguinte, eu vou usar meu poder em você.
About the attempt on Saskia's life.
Se não der certo, eu vou te cortar o braço.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody, said the virgin, is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Olcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave, I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was putting Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. He wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, "Just clear the servants from the kitchen." Nothing more. Reverend Olcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
Nobody will believe me.
Procure mais informações e encontre a casa do sacerdote com a ajuda de Cecil. Tá. A gente vai ter que virar as coisas do padre lá.
Don't try anything.
O Cecil tá aqui, velho. Nossa, mó rolê essa cidade aqui, hein, mano. Pelo amor de Deus, velho. Tá maluco, meu brother? Chegamos. E aí, Cecil?
They lie in wait for their lord and prince. Humans are an odd lot. I certainly hope Scalen can clean up this mess. What can I do for you, Witcher?
I need to know where Reverend Olcan used to live.
Simple. Let me show you on the map. It's about right here.
Beleza, valeu.
About the monsters in the pit.
O cara morava dentro da mina. Ah, não, velho. Tá de sacanagem, né? Eu vou roubar sua casa, mano. Vou roubar sua casa. Sai da frente, mano. Sai da frente. Queima a galinha. Eita. Susto, mano. Pensei que tinha alguém correndo atrás de mim. Isso, mano. Me matarem só porque eu queimei uma galinha, velho. Que isso?
Don't try anything.
Olha, tinha alguma coisa aqui, hein? Tinha alguma coisa de missão pra fazer aqui, hein? A casa dele era aqui, ó. Boa.
Strange aura.
Nossa, tem um tapete na parede, velho.
Nothing interesting.
Tanto de livro empilhado. Zorens. Aguarde os eventos se desenrolarem. Beleza. Então vamos fazer outra coisa enquanto isso, né? Diário. Sangue real. Eu já encontrei a casa do cara aqui, velho. Tô aqui na casa. Tá, qual que é a outra missão? Essa. Fala com a Filipa. Ah, já anoiteceu do nada? Vai rolar uma briga aqui, hein, mano. Das boas. Certeza.
Magic or danger?
You wanted to discuss something?
I've found an immortelle.
Excellent. You wanted to
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the battle.
Nossa, eu vou ter que sair do campo de batalha.
Glevisig's death and suffering. The abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him. You wanted to discuss...
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something.
Nem todos os fantasmas eram agressivos, você notou?
What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edern, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glevisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel.
Nossa.
I'd say she did a good job considering.
Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for rape?
Bruxos profissionais. Ah, não.
They're demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Maldição da Arquimestra?
Well, I'm in...
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevisig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodolega.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
Those artifacts.
Sobrou pra mim.
I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.
Converse com os habitantes sobre os locais mágicos. Eu vou roubar a casa dela, mano. O que tem pra roubar aqui? Vou roubar tudo.
Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
É a minazinha lá.
That. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart de Tanzaville.
Quanto custa um curso de magia?
How much does a magic course cost these days?
É EAD esse curso aí, presencial, né?
Afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly... Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Marigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Lowe Antiel are both blasé.
Aqui ele é do 3, né?
One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac. The other cares only about her school. Enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the
Antiga velha elfa.
is capable of. But she's clearly very powerful.
Very powerful.
Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
Ouvi dizer que você se interessa nos caçadores selvagens.
About the wild hunt.
Very interesting phenomenon. Like all mysterious things.
Willing to share what you know?
Well, I would be. Provided you found the notes of Morton Collis first. He devoted almost his entire life to researching the hunt. We could go into detail if you had his scribblings.
I found Morton Collis's notes.
So, let's see what you've learned.
Well, there are a few documented facts, but Collis notes the existence of plenty of myths and legends.
Very true. Where shall we start, then?
First and foremost, Collis studied the hunt's movement.
Oh, it's well known that the wild hunt moves north to south, never in the opposite direction.
That's what I remember, and Collis's research confirms it. I'm just having trouble understanding why that is.
The retinue's trajectory brings it into our world at the North Pole. Thus, once here, the wraiths can only move...
Collis claims the hunt's appearance can be predicted by observing the Orcan Nebula.
And eclipses affect how often it appears. In any case, it arrives on the winter solstice, though not necessarily every year.
Collis calculated that the hunt slips into our world in those years when the nebula is in the eastern sky. When I pursued the hunt, I passed through many abandoned villages.
Well, the wild hunt abducts young people.
What for?
The wraiths might need workers, warriors, or meat.
Collis seems to favor the slave theory. What's the sorceress's take on the hunt?
The topic makes them uneasy. Since the Council and Conclave banned the use of mind spells, the wild hunt has been a taboo topic.
There's some link between mental spells and the cavalcade?
Both addle the brain. Anyone who has come in
Gol do Palmeiras, tô ouvindo os fogos aqui, mano.
mental instability that either takes the form of insanity or amnesia. You see, the
fogos, hein?
magnetic field that severely distorts perception and impedes brain functions.
É suave, Bruno?
Appearance is
Boas.
war.
In our times, wars are so frequent, we might even consider flights of honking geese as their harbinger. The hunt traverses our world in winter. Wars usually break out in spring, but only because rulers wish their soldiers to die in battle rather than of cold.
Let's summarize.
Based on his observations and calculations of the wild hunt's movements, Collis arrived at two equally important conclusions. The first was that the hunt is made up of knights who perished in various worlds and have reconvened as a retinue of vengeance. His second hypothesis states that an unknown, extremely powerful force multiplies wraiths, whose task is to travel between worlds in search of slaves. Both theories seem probable.
Each time someone runs into the hunt, the Wraith's magnetic field causes their mind to descend into chaos. By inference,
Boas, aí sim, mano.
field should
Jogando bruxão aqui dos brabos.
Perhaps. Someone who lost their memory or their mind on their first meeting with the hunt could recover either on the second meeting. But I'm afraid that's unproved. Anyone who has managed to escape the wraiths would rather die than meet them again.
So, you can lose or recover your memory by meeting the wild hunt.
Something I don't.
I have amnesia, but my memory's been coming back since a certain event.
Since when?
Since I killed a spectre, the king of the wild hunt.
Aí, menina, depois a gente vai voltar aqui pra conversar, hein? É um papo bem esclarecedor. Ararara. Ararara. Essa merda tá trancada, velho. Como é que eu... Deve ser aqui, ó. Aqui, ó. Olha aqui, ó. Acordei, vagabundo.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook insult. Called king by some. Thought that Adernians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edern?
According to Henselt, Upper Edern is the ancient legacy of the Kedwini crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwin.
Load of crab. 700 years ago, the elves reigned here. And 1,000,000 years ago, these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took it up there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer.
Faz sentido.
What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want.
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Adernians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Edirn at all. We decimated the Dunbanner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kidwennies gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Vandegrift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Vandegrift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Edirnian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kidwenny sorceress who wanted revenge on Vandegrift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
You captured the Dunbanner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitors sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Edirnians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard.
Já peguei estandarte, Geraldão. Você é burro, cara.
Do you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarreg. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Vandegrift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Vandegrift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Seltkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbled something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontar the third day.
Descobri toda a história, né, galera?
Edirn had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Seltkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You saw the Kidwennies cross the river?
From afar. I saw Vandegrift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarreg. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Edirnian land, Vandegrift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers. Seltkirk stepped out in front of us, his white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kidwenny arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood, frozen.
Não baixar a calça no céu,
At them and bowed ever so slightly.
Ah, não, véi.
So that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Não tô, não.
Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place, as long as I can remember, it's been of interest.
Você não fala pra caramba, né, velho? Meu Deus.
It's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that lass, and you'll save my town.
É isso. Encontre o local de poder que Cersei Burdon escondeu. Oh, mencionou. Escondeu é isso. Vamos lá, vamos lá, vamos lá. Além das ruínas existe um lugar. E é onde a gente vai. Putz, eu esqueci onde que é, mano. Saída. Aqui é a casa da fila, pá. Fela, pá, da... A fela, pá. Vai pra cá, mano.
I heard.
Não.
Shut your trap if you don't know what's going on.
Pra cá, ó. Não, cadê o mapa, velho? Abre o mapa aí, pelo amor de Deus, mano. Esquerda. Não essa esquerda. A outra esquerda. Tem que ir lá nas minas. Local de poder. Lá vai ter o artefato. Vamos lá buscar esse artefato então, mano. Praça Rundurim.
Ah, greetings.
Greetings, greetings.
Like a soldier.
Greetings, greetings. Pegamos aqui pra fora. Dá aquela atravessada no rio. É isso? Deixa os bichos se matar aí, mano. Cortei. Cara, acho que o local de poder é aqui, não é não? Ah, tem tipo uma colina aqui, parece, ó. Dá pra escalar aqui? Não dá, né? Não. Ó, dá pra subir ali sim, mano. Dá pra subir ali sim, velho. Tem que descobrir como. Aqui, será? Não. Foi de onde eu vim. Pô, cara. Nada faz sentido. Não dá pra escalar. Cara, acho que é dentro da cripta, mano. Acho que é dentro da cripta. Deixa eu ir lá. Vou pegar isso aqui pra vender, né, mano? Sempre bom. Não é aqui, velho. Só se der pra quebrar algum lugar aqui, mano. Eu acho improvável. Nossa, ferrou. Nossa. Bora, vai, não é aqui não, não é aqui não. Vamos embora, vamos embora. Agora que a gente vai perder tempo aqui. Cara, como é que eu subo ali, mano? O que quer dizer esse negócio ali em cima, mano? Que é isso? Calma aí, mano. Caçando magia. Percepções mágicas, ruínas, lendas de qualquer tesouro sobre lugares que poderiam encontrar o item que precisava, encontrando as duas áreas disponíveis. Tá. Tava aqui próximo. Foi onde que eu ativei o negócio? Foi aqui. Tá, o artefato deve estar aqui perto, mano, mas... Aonde? Aonde, velho? Aonde? Oxi. Isso que eu chamo de bruxaria lá. Abrir uma pedra. Agora você me vê. Agora não vê mais. Agora você me vê. Agora não vê mais. Aí você me vê. Agora não vê mais. Agora me vê. Agora não vê mais. Me vê. Não vê mais. Sumiu. que bug feio, mano. Cara, mano, onde é que eu subo nesse lugar, velho? Inferno de lugar, mano. Cara, é algum lugar aqui. Algum lugar aqui. Calma. Mano, é por aqui. Por aqui, mano. Tá aparecido algum botão aqui, mano. Cara, eu tinha acabado de passar pro local de poder, mano. Eu peguei até o buff do bagulho aí. Agora eu já não sei mais, mano. Cara. Não faz sentido isso aqui, mano. Caramba, cara. Mas que merda, velho. Mano, eu vou tomar uma água aqui rapidão, rapaz. Tá, então... Vamos lá, cara. Tá, vamos... Vamos ver se tem... Mano, tem que ter alguma forma de subir aqui, velho. Não é possível, mano. Tira dando a volta, fazendo qualquer outra merda, tá ligado? Tem que ter uma maneira de subir, mano. Calma aí. Se eu vier por aqui, do outro lado do rio, tem uma parada pra subir aqui, hein? Será que é aqui? Calma, calma. Boas. Tá, só que ainda preciso descobrir como é que eu vou chegar pro outro lado. Oxe, tem um castelo ali, mano. Uma construçãozinha. Caraca, quanta arpia, mano. Ninho de arpia maldito.
You stink.
Toma, toma. Maluco, quanto arpia, meu irmão. Quanto arpia. Tá doido, mano. Quantas arpias, velho. Tá, agora eu preciso saber como é que eu vou subir ali, porque eu cheguei aqui em cima, mas ainda precisa subir, né, mano? Ah, dá pra fazer aqui, beleza. Entrega o objeto a Filipa. Boa! É isso, mano. Bora. Cadê essas ruínas de bosta aqui agora?
trust the girl.
Agora vamos lá entregar o objeto.
I think some fella just after.
Pra cá, né?
Adam. So, you thought it over?
Aqui? É aqui.
The recruiting station.
É aqui. Cadê ela? Ah, cadê a Filipa, mano? Aqui.
You wanted to discuss something?
Ah, muitas coisas.
Found one of the ingredients for Saskia's cure.
Show me. Interesting. Getting warmer, but still not there. It's as if I'd sent you to get me the sun and you'd brought me a candle. We need something massive, an item of real power, Geralt. This is a dwarf's dream. Stolen and magically encased in this crystal. It would do if it was stronger.
You know what this means? In addition to normal harpies, there are Solano in the area.
Solano?
Dream snatchers. The only harpy species to develop something resembling intelligence. They magically bind dreams to mountain crystals. I heard they once inhabited this area. Solano live among regular harpies, but their lair should be full of stolen dreams. One of those would be powerful enough, I'm sure.
You'd have to enter the harpy lair through the quarry. Unfortunately, the gate to the caves is locked and Cecil Burden won't open it.
Ah, vou ter que voltar lá.
Another occasion. Stubborn as a mule, that one. But we must not relent. Saskia clings to life by a thread. Let me show you the desire contained in this particular dream. Don't be hasty to judge.
Yes, I can feel it. Whose dream is it?
Cecil Burden's.
In that case, I need to see the alderman. Got a feeling he just might open the gate for me.
Então, vamos falar com o Cecil de novo. Conversar com o Cecil de novo. Cadê?